Now joining me from Tel Aviv is Israel's former Justice Minister, Ayelet Shaked. Ayelet, thank you for joining us. We're seeing reports that Israel and Hamas have reacted coolly to this Egyptian proposal to end the war, which entails a phased hostage release and the formation of a mixed Palestinian government to administer both Gaza and the West Bank. Do you think Israel could ever accept such a deal, and should they?
We have two goals. One is to bring back our hostages. You know that we have still two babies in captivity. We have young women in captivity. And as now the world knows they raped brutally our women before they murdered them in the music festival. So we need to get out the young women as soon as possible. We have elderly people in captivity, and we are doing all the effort we can in order to release them. And the second goal is to eliminate Hamas. Now, we are in negotiation with the Egyptians, and they are talking to the Hamas leadership. By the way, from our perspective, the Hamas leadership should surrender or die. They are all dead men walking. After what they did after the massacre. So there are negotiations. It is not there yet, but Israel needs to achieve those two goals.
Well, I guess any proposal that would see Hamas have any role in a future Palestinian government probably wouldn't be seriously considered by Israel then, in light of those goals. Ayelet, I wanted to ask you about one of the top stories we've been reporting here today. It's about the death of two Australian brothers who were killed in an airstrike in southern Lebanon. It's been confirmed it was an Israeli airstrike. The government has been unable to confirm, though, whether one of the brothers is a Hezbollah fighter, but the terror group has claimed that is the case and held a funeral for him with Hezbollah flags over all the coffins. Are you able to shed any light about what Israel may know about this particular story and why Israel is carrying out airstrikes in that region in the first place?
Israel is doing strike on this area because it's an area of Hezbollah components and activity. Now, the Hezbollah start a war in the north. They shoot missiles on our towns. You know that we evacuate our citizens from the northern border. So, you know, we are just trying to push the Hezbollah from our border. You know that there is the UN decision 1701 that the Hezbollah should not be there. They need to be in the north of the Litani River. And either the international community will enforce this decision or we will have to take care of that. Currently, the Hezbollah start a war in the north. They bomb our cities and we are fighting back. Caroline, imagine to yourself that, for example, Perth, you know, a terror organization would shoot missiles on Perth, and you will need to evacuate all the people from Perth to Melbourne, and then you need to fight back. So this is what we are doing. We evacuate our citizens, and it's the first time, by the way, that in such, you know, a big quantity of Israeli civilians had to leave their homes, and we are fighting back the Hezbollah. Those people were in an area of Hezbollah, and probably one of them was also a terrorist.
Yeah, that seems to be at least what we're hearing from Hezbollah is the case. They've claimed it. I'll just ask you quickly more on Hezbollah. Israel has warned the head of that group, Hassan Nasrallah, that he is next. And we're hearing reports senior US officials have been urging Israel to avoid further escalation of the conflict with Lebanon. What do you think we can expect? Will this turn into a new full-blown war?
It's really depends on the international community. If the US, France, you know, if the international community will enforce the UN decision 1701, and it says that the Hezbollah should not be on our border, then, you know, it's the best solution. We don't want to start a war there. But if the Hezbollah will still sit on our border, we will have to take care of that. So actually right now, it's in the hands of the international community. We can't accept anymore after the massacre in the south, we can't let it happen again in the north. So, we need to find a way how to push the Hezbollah up north.
No, I don't have too much faith in the United Nations given how it's treated Israel in past resolutions. But Ayelet Shaked, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate your insight into this.